I was halfway through the doorway when I saw it. The dining room table stretched like an accusation. 12 polished seats, each with a folded napkin, wine glass, and gilded plate. 12. I counted again. 11 people already seated, my chair missing. "You can eat in the car," my brother said, casual as a shrug, sipping his drink. His wife didn't look up from her phone. "Why waste a seat on him?" she said, a smile tugging the corner of her mouth. I scanned the table. My ex-wife sat between my parents, laughing, wearing the scarf I gave her the year she drained my savings. The room smelled of roast beef and false warmth. I didn't sit, didn't ask. My fingers found the small wrapped box in my coat pocket, the gift I'd brought for my brother. Not expensive, though what it contained was worth more than anything in the room. I stepped toward him. "Check under your plate." His brow furrowed. He lifted it. I walked away before I could see his face change. The cold air outside bit my lungs. The car door shut with a heavy click. Inside, silence, until Mom called my name from the porch, and Dad ran out, fast. This dinner was supposed to be neutral ground. The first one in years since the divorce. My mother's idea. Family, no matter what. But they'd forgotten the unspoken rule. I don't forget. My brother had been circling my life long before the table stunt. The quiet texts to my wife while we were still married. The way they both avoided eye contact when I'd enter a room. It started with late work nights that didn't add up. Her phone turned face down. Laughter in the kitchen when I was still in the driveway. Back then, I didn't know how deep it went, only that something was being built between them, brick by brick, behind my back. I told myself it was nothing, told myself blood wouldn't betray blood. But denial is just a slower form of dying. When the divorce hit, she took more than half. My brother stayed silent. Neutral, he said, until I found his name in her call history. 3 days after the papers were signed. The pattern was too perfect to be an accident. I didn't confront, not yet. I learned to wait, to play the long game. First, I checked her social media. A photo at the lake, his jacket on her shoulders, a coffee cup in the background with his company's logo. Then his bank's public charity report, a donation large on her birthday. Still, no proof they'd crossed the line before the divorce. That mattered to me, morally, if not legally. So I went deeper. A friend at the phone company owed me a favor. I got records, months' worth of late-night calls between their numbers. Times when she'd told me she was with her sister. Then the old group photo from our last Christmas before the split. The way she stood too close to him, his hand behind her chair. The gift I brought tonight wasn't wrapped out of sentiment. It was wrapped because the envelope inside wasn't for my eyes anymore, it was for his. A printed thread of messages, her words, his replies, dates, times, explicit, all before the divorce. Every move they'd made, cataloged. I let it sit in my desk for 6 months, waiting for a stage, waiting for the right audience. When he lifted his plate tonight, the envelope was the only thing beneath it. White, thin, heavy with consequence. I didn't stay to watch him read, but I can imagine the first page, her telling him she couldn't wait to have me out of the way. The second, him promising it'd be their year once I was gone. The final pages, times, dates, photos, the kind that couldn't be explained away. My mother's voice cracked when she called me outside. "What did you do?" Dad didn't ask. He'd seen enough in my eyes to know. Through the dining room window, my brother's wife was leaning over him, whispering fast. His face pale, lips tight. My axe had gone still, fork frozen halfway to her mouth. I watched them fracture. He came outside eventually, coat half-zipped. "You didn't have to." "I did," I said. Calm, final. He searched my face for anger. There wasn't any left, just precision. They'll know it was before. They already do. A single truth is heavier than any accusation, especially when it's documented. I walked past him toward the gate. The night air was cleaner than the dining room. Inside, voices rose, my ex's tone sharp, his wife's sharper. By the time I reached my car, the front door slammed behind me. I didn't look back. The engine started with a low hum. My hands didn't shake. I wasn't thinking about the money I'd lost in the divorce, or the years they'd stolen while pretending to be my family. I thought about silence, the kind that follows a dropped glass, sharp and waiting. I'd left them with that silence, with each other. When people show you what they are, you don't argue, you step aside. I pulled onto the road, headlights cutting through the dark. Some truths aren't meant to be shouted. They're meant to be placed quietly under a plate and left to do their work.